Story in the Sun today, page 8. Bibby Stockholm arrests. 2 migrants living on the Bibby Stockholm Barge have been arrested on suspicion of a sex attack in a bar. Now, I've sat here and listened to everybody tell me it's appalling and it's wrong and all that sort of thing, and everybody has different arguments. But
yeah.
I'd like to talk about the people who live in Weymouth in Dorset. We had a woman on 3 or 4 weeks ago who came on and said, I worked all my life in London, I bought my house. I don't want 350 migrants walking around my town on handouts from the government doing whatever. And this, and we have to point out we don't know the truth behind this yet, this is one of the things that gets people's goats quite rightly, isn't it?
I think this is why you have Rwanda as a scheme, though, rather than building processing centres, long-term holding centres in the UK, because nobody wants them near them. So it's better to say, well,
it's like housing, isn't it?
Well, exactly. No constituency is going to vote to have the sort of the supermax detention facility for people who are here illegally and may be deported, may be dangerous. Nobody's going to want that. So, yeah, whilst I have a lot of sympathy for everybody, because, you know, we see this, it destroys local communities in terms of the tourism industry, because the government just takes over whole hotels and says, well, they're not going to be any tourists this year because we need to house other people here. You see, it really does upset a lot of people, but the government needs to get a grip by saying, OK, there are going to be 1, 2, 3 dedicated centres. They're going to be large. We're talking probably thousands of people at any one time. And I'm sorry, they have to go somewhere, so they're going to go here. But the deal we make with you is we process them quickly and we deport them quickly because we've bought the planes and we know where they've come from if they have no right to be here. We're not seeing that. We're seeing this very odd piecemeal distraction policy, which is, don't worry, we'll send them to Rwanda and that'll persuade 50,000 people not to come because 300 maybe gets.
But I get told, you see, sorry, I get told that immigration isn't that important to people. But these sorts of stories are hugely relevant.
Yeah.
There was a lady to do with this story who said, I don't really want to speak out. I have tried to, and I get called racist. It's not racist at all.
It's a desperate coping mechanism when people say that immigration isn't that important. Yeah, and it's often said by people for whom immigration is vitally important to their own interests, economically, politically, whatever it may be. It's always those people that say, people don't care about immigration. It's, broadly speaking, the most important thing at the general election will be how much wealthier people feel.
Yeah, the economy and the money in our pockets.
Absolutely, that's the first thing. But of course, it has a knock-on effect to everything else. Do their services work? Can they get, dentist appointments, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And of course, immigration numbers, because that plays a part in the economy. And we've been told for a very long time it's good for the economy. People at the poorer end can understand, no, it puts pressure on services, on housing, and on wages. And therefore, actually, when it's gross over 1 million people, yeah, absolutely, it matters.
And as Jeremy mentioned, Rishi Sunak up before the liaison committee that made up of the chairs of all of the select committees. This is going to be one of many subjects he's going to be grilled on later today.